You're now listening to the 11:30 podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 11:30 podcast, Dre and Willsy is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 11:30 podcast, Dre.
Yo, what it do, everybody, man? We back at it with another edition of the 11:30 podcast. What's good, everybody, man? Back at it. Y'all already know, man. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Appreciate everyone tuning in back here on YouTube, man. If you're new to the show and if you're new to the podcast, man, I don't know what you're waiting for. Definitely hit that like button down below, man. Comment, share, subscribe, man, and don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. All right, man. Now we back at it, man. I'm excited, ready for another episode, man. I got a real cool guest, man. Dope guest, man. Emil, you guys, man. He's a cutthroat, innovative, lucrative singer, songwriter, R&B/pop artist, man. We're gonna be bringing him here on the 11:30 podcast show this week, man. Chopping it up with him, man, and having fun. So once again, man, appreciate everyone definitely tuning in to the podcast show. We're gonna definitely get in it and bring on my dope guest, man. I'm gonna bring on Adam. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Adam, what's going on with you?
What up, Dre? What's happening? 11:30 podcast. Thanks for having me. What's cracking?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. How life treating you, man?
Man, life is good. You know, we're working on a lot of new things, a lot of business ventures. God is good. Got a good circle of friends around me and business partners. Can't be more happy than that.
Hey, that's what's up. All right, we're gonna get into it, man. Once again, I appreciate you coming through here on the podcast show. Where you from, actually? You from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I was born in Cali, San Bernardino County, Fontana, but I've been in Chicago since I was 3 years old. Yep.
Oh, okay. How was it growing up in Chicago?
I mean, you know, good days. I mean, I lived in the inner city, South Side, and then I moved out to the South suburbs growing up for the majority of my childhood, adolescence. But yeah, it's been good. Great energy here. No matter where I go, I'm always happy to land back in Chi-Town.
Okay, that's what's up. Chi-Town. Shout out to Chi-Town.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, you a singer and songwriter, R&B pop artist, man. Been doing your thing in the music game for some time, man.
Yeah.
How did your journey begin for you, man? As a young OG, man, was it really you wanted to, shine your talent, shine a light in the music, or sort of just life just took you in that direction?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I mean, I just remember my mom forcing me to play piano, not all the time, but the necessary times when I rather go to football practice. I remember one time being in full football equipment, and she said, "Where you think you going?" And I said, "I'm going to practice." She said, "Not until you play your piano." So I was in full shoulder pad gear and everything at the piano, playing my 30 minutes of lessons. And then eventually after that, I started vocal training and stuff like that. So once it was the decision for me to go to college in terms of picking my major or my minor or whatever. Originally, I had went for business, and then I think 2 days later, I was like, "Wait, what am I doing?" And I went back and changed my major to music. So I knew then that I wanted to take it more seriously. That's also when I started booking my own shows in the inner city of Chicago, and it led me to LA, ASCAP Music Festival, Miami. Did a lot of things booking my own self. So that's when I knew I was taking it seriously. I started cutting records and putting music out.
Okay, cool. You said when you were young, you thought you were going to football practice. My mom said, "Hold up, wait a minute, not until you play that piano, though." How was that for you? I mean, did you eventually, play sports or play football though? But mom said, "Not until you play that piano." Moms always know best, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I made it to football practice that day, but I banged out on the piano for about 30 minutes, and maybe I was 15 minutes late for practice or whatever. My father was the coach too, so you knew my mom wasn't budging on that. She like, yeah. You know, the coach is going to practice until you play the piano. So yeah, I mean, parents have a huge responsibility in terms of keeping their kids dedicated and focused on what's important. So.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. What was it though for you that you took it? Actually, I mean, like you said, you stopped booking yourself and everything. What
Mhm.
was the moment that you actually took it serious for yourself and was like, wait a minute, I think this is what I'm meant to do. Actually, obviously, going to college and all that other stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, taking music serious at that time.
Yeah, I mean that's also interesting. You taking me back. You have good days, you have good weeks, you have good spouts, you have good ranges of time where you like, oh, this is me, this is what I'm doing, and then you have, for me, I'll speak for myself as a musician, as an artist, writer, singer, songwriter. You have rough days too, where you kind of question things as well. But if you keep climbing up that hill, climbing up that mountain, you see the sunshine again, and then it revitalizes you, refreshes you to keep kind of going and treading forward one step at a time. So I'm not going to say it's always been peaches and roses from the concrete, but you have those moments. God will shine His light on you and show you to just keep moving forward. So there's been series of great events that have shown me, let me keep doing this. Obviously, I love music, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of obstacles and challenges in front of us in terms of reaching critical mass or, what they say, hitting a larger audience or whatever. But ultimately, it all started from the love of music that I have, how music makes me feel inside. So
Okay, how does music make you feel?
warm. That's a good question. I mean, it's just something about the harmonic symphonies and the clashing and the rub of the different sounds, the different textures, the different instrumentations. I guess it ignites the chakras, but it also does something to the brain. Music works that other side of the brain that we don't actually have full capacity to. So, for creatives, right, for artists and things like that, it wakens up a side of our mental that we don't use on a regular basis.
Okay. Hey, I like that, man. Tapping into something else, man. Definitely, definitely. Music is something, man, that definitely gets you along in the day, man. And definitely dig what you doing though. You got
Appreciate
this
it.
you got discovered. No, no, thank you. You got discovered by the R&B group Color Me Bad. And
Yeah.
I was that, getting discovered and knowing that, what, man, passion is, music is my passion. And, it was just, for the right time, man. And, getting discovered by R&B groups such as them.
Man, I tell you, that was an incredible moment. A lot of artists before me have always used the term or the phrase, 10-year overnight sensation.
Mhm.
And I guess I kind of walked in that path as well because I was grinding on my own for many years. And then at the point when they called, my parents actually went away for a little bit, for about 2 years. And so me and my sister held down their house for them and had to kind of take some different paths, you know what I mean, in terms of finances, just to cut right to it.
Okay.
So I got the call being faithful, to be honest. I had to take a little break from music and get to the bag a little bit quicker. I was making great money doing shows, but it wasn't enough to sustain, the current situation I had been pushed into. Um, but just being faithful, man. I got a text on, it was Twitter then, now it's X, from Mark Calderon. And I think I kind of wasn't on Twitter that heavy, so I kind of just looked at it, bypassed it. And I believe he hit me up on Instagram too. And I'm like, wait a second, this is the same guy just hit me on X. I'm like, okay. So then somehow we got on the phone call. And I'll be honest, like the picture that a lot of shows they were doing were promoting a different picture, which kind of didn't remind me of the guys that they were in the past. And I looked into it. I called my boy Chris G. Shout out to Chris G. Get well soon, bro. I love you. He's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, what? I told him I'd think about it. He was like, man, get off the phone with me right now and call him back and tell him you're in. And I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. Like, and then after that, me and Mark hit it off. I believe Brian Abrams, that's the lead singer for Color Me Bad. He's the one that actually, I guess, was, flowing through the YouTube and found some stuff that I had did at some bars out here or whatever. So it's a group effort in terms of Mark reaching out to me and Brian actually being the one that saw me. And the crazy thing is they're like, yo, we want you to meet us in Singapore. So that's when I was just like, wait, what?
Mm.
Singapore? So I start kind of feeling like I was going to be kidnapped, but I didn't think I was cute enough for somebody to fly me to Singapore to kidnap me. So, so I went.
Oh man, that is crazy though. Was that a life changing moment for you?
In more ways than one. Yeah, I mean, obviously I stayed humble and stayed balanced because it was a different situation, right? I felt like, some pretty little model chick or something being flown out. Like, what's happening? So, but yeah, we actually had a layover flight somewhere. I can't remember the exact city, but I got to shake hands with him and meet him, and then we took the next leg to Singapore. When I got to Singapore, it was really them just kind of keeping me up to date with what was happening with them and what they're currently going through. So there was some awkward moments out there, but it was still a bright light because I had never been to Indonesia, or I don't even know if I had been out the country before that. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously like Cancun and stuff like that, and Mexico, but yeah, it was surreal.
Hey man, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. You mentioned your mom told you, man, go back in the house and play that piano. And stuff. How did she feel about that moment? When you got discovered and everything was, lining up for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually have to ask her that. That's actually cool. But I mean, I guess if my parents have always been super supportive. Yeah. I would assume that they were proud. They followed my whole journey touring with Color Me Bad, and even once Color Me Bad took a different direction, I still maintained on the tour. My parents were always supportive. They would come to as many shows as they could. So I would assume that she was proud that she put her foot down and made me play that piano that day.
Okay, cool,
yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, that's what's up. Mama,
yeah,
definitely be feeling proud of you too.
Yeah, man.
In general, because and that was basically the question though. Did you have mainly support growing up, going into this, following your journey in music? Because you got some parents, man, who just probably be like, yo, you know what, man, you're going to college, that's what's it. I don't see a future, in the music, game for you or whatever like that, and try to push you in the direction that they want to go, that they want you to go into. So the fact that you got major support, I think that's dope, because support is very vital, man, real vital.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
I appreciate that. You also, man, was on the I Love 90s tour, right?
Yes.
How was that? And also, man, what's your favorite thing about the 90s? Because obviously times are just, flying by so fast, man. I'm a 90s baby, though.
You're not lying. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your thing? How was that? And also, what was your favorite thing about the 90s?
I mean, my favorite thing that jumps out to me about the 90s is just the quality of music, the lyrics. We can still talk about love, and we can still have songs from Nelly and Ludacris. Well, that's more 2000s, but it was, the music was just a little bit more. I guess the young kids, my young teenagers, would be like, that's old school, right? But
yeah,
it connected a little closer to the substance of who we are. Now I feel like our spirits are trying to connect to the music. Back then, the music was connected to us. So that's my favorite part about the 90s, man. And you can tell by how many shows these guys and women are still getting from the 90s. They are booked heavy all throughout the year. And, it's up for debate if the new acts are nearly getting booked as much as the 90s and 2000s artists. They're constantly on a new show in a different city. Segueing into the 90s tour, I mean, it was incredible. I never dreamed in a million years that I'd be touring with Color Me Bad and Salt and Pepper and Coolio and Rob Bass and Young MC and Tone Loc and Vanilla Ice. And I mean, there's so many more I can mention. I mean, I've toured with Montel Jordan and hung out with Cisco and Drew Hill and John B. and I'll Be Sure. One time I took a bus ride back with I'll Be Sure, and we had a good powwow about music and how he broke into the industry. I've always just tried to take advantage. I mean, Color Me Bad, I always give them their flowers. I met Stevie Wonder because of these guys, and had a great talk with Stevie Wonder. We were at it's been a little minute. LL Cool J, John Legend's wife, Miss Tegan. They did the show in LA. I can't think of it right now. mixtape battle or something like that. Something like
Okay.
that. Right. And Stevie Wonder was in the studio and he sent a request. He sent his manager to our dressing room and requested for us to come over. I'm like, Stevie Wonder. I'm tight with Brian and Mark. I'm walking in the middle of them, like, okay, make sure you don't push me out of this, you know. So we get over there and Stevie Wonder can see. Yes, let's just be honest. They had like this could be confidential, but they had like a candy bar trick with Stevie where they would indicate like when it was time for him to do something. I can't say what it was time for him to do, but I did see a couple signs. So they'll hand him like a Snicker bar when it was time for him to wrap up his conversation. He grabbed a bar of candy, and probably any and every day it could be something different, but I just noticed certain things. So the talk with Stevie was just too quick for me. I was like, wait a second, this is a freaking legend.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of pushing us out the door. I turn around, I say, hey, wait. I say, Stevie, can you give us any advice on songwriting? This man reached out and grabbed my hand. I didn't reach for, he grabbed my hand, walked me to the couch, no help, walked me to the couch, sat me down right next to him. And we started talking. We talked for another 30 minutes. And I remember, no offense, Mr. Brian and Mark, but y'all came back in and followed me after that because y'all was leaving out the door. And when he sat me down, they was like, hold up. And they turned around and we powwowed together. But I'm like, I'm not leaving out this room with a 2-minute talk with Stevie. That's just not about to happen today. So.
Yeah. Stevie Wonder was actually, was he someone, growing up that you idolized, in the music and stuff like that for, to be a huge moment,
Yeah, I mean, I don't idolize anybody, but I definitely looked up to him in a major way. I mean, he is very iconic. The things he can do with his vocals, the things he can do on that keyboard and that clavinet, the longevity he's had. Let's not, being blind on top of it. I mean, he's freaking incredible. He's next level musical powers, man. Yeah. So I had to take a moment and I got it all on tape and, audio recording. I said, Stevie, can I record this? He said, do whatever you got to do. And we chopped it up for 30 minutes, man.
Hey, that's what's up. Definitely what's up. Hey, one thing we was discussing, man, the 90s tour and growing up in the 90s and stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned how music was different in the 90s, man. It was more so, you connected with it or music connected with you. Or, what's going on now where it's like, no more love music, like, the R&B, man, love R&B, especially 90s R&B and everything like that, early 2000s too, even to this day, great R&B music, but it seems like the narrative for, music and especially love, when you're talking about love and passion and everything like that, it don't, get pushed to the, forefront, like other, musics today. So, no more love music.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything comes back full circle, but I'm giving you my opinion. I just think these young kids moving at a different pace right now. They're moving at a different, with this technology moving really fast, AI and everything at your fingertips. I don't know how concerned these youngsters are with love right now. So it's not possibly not resonating with the population in terms of the youth. But I think eventually, once they get a little bit older, then they'll start, reaching out to more of that music. Now, whether it's new music coming out that's relating to them, or maybe they have to go back to the 90s and the 2000s and gain some of that, sometimes I drive for Uber and Lyft and I test them out. When I get a young teen in the back, I'll play some old school 90, see if they can play, and some of them sing it. So they know it. So shout out to all of their parents for making sure they know, but I still get a lot of youngsters too that'll put their headsets on and headphones. And I'm like, these kids are controlling their environment. So it's a good test study for me to see like where they are. But, I always shout out the teens and the youngsters, because they get a lot of bad press. And it's a lot of brilliant ones out here that's still going to school and still doing what they should be doing for their parents and for themselves around the house. And they're still respectful, but the negative energy always is going to be showcased in the media. But these kids are still very smart. And the music is what the labels are choosing to put out too. They're being force fed So but I think it'll all come full circle.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right, man. I definitely remember growing up on 90. Close the door. Close the door. I definitely remember growing up, on 90s music. My mom playing all types of music growing up, whether it's Jodeci, Keith Sweat, all types of music,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I
Yeah.
know a lot of the young generation, they growing up more so on, hip hop and everything. Like you said, the music labels are definitely choosing the narrative and
Hmm.
what to put out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's that, man. And
Yep.
you also, man, early in your career, man, you was honored, as an Apollo legend. How was that for you, man? Being on the Apollo stage with so many greats coming out there, man, and performing, and also.
Yeah, man. It was amazing. I had a good group of family and friends that came out with us to Harlem. Um, you know, I'm going back in my brain. I did stay outside in the hot sun for about 8 hours. My sister took the flight to New York. This was the audition, right? My sister took a flight with me to New York. I had to get up maybe 6 in the morning, take a train over to Harlem, get in line. I didn't have bad position in line, but it was still an 8 hour situation. Sun's beaming, right? And my sister comes out there maybe 4 or 5 hours later, like, dang, you still standing in line? I was cooked. I was crispy at that point. And I ended up doing the audition, doing well. They called me back. I think it took 2 months for them to call me back. They brought me to New York. We did the competition, the first competition I won. I did John Legend, Ordinary People, played it on the keys. And I got invited back a second time. The second time, now you were better time. Everybody that won now gets to compete again. So that time I remember being incredible because John B was there, and I didn't know him at the time. And I had a keyboard. He's like, "Hey man, can I play your keyboard?" I'm like, yeah, of course, no problem, bro. So when I met John B touring with Color Me Bad, I made sure to remind him of that. Like, hey man, you borrowed my keyboard at Apollo. He's like, I remember that. I remember you. So yeah, but it was an amazing thing being able to. Just the Apollo log was legendary.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the fans and the energy, the nervousness of potentially getting booed, and
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing. That you mentioned getting booed at the Apollo and the log when you come out and you rub it, knowing that you're about to go out there and try to give it your best and everything, and knowing you got to rub this. Everybody who was famous enough came through the Apollo, touched that. What were your thoughts on it? Were you afraid of getting booed and kicked off the stage or anything like that?
I wasn't really. I mean, obviously the thought passes through your head,
Yeah,
right? But I
yeah.
felt like I had the song down enough that I would be able to get through it. You know,
Okay.
oddly enough, now I thought about how many people actually rub this log before I'm rubbing it. Like, where's the hand sanitizer? No, just play. But yeah, no, it was cool, man. I got to meet Ray Chu and the crew, and I've even ran into him several times after that, and we always have something to talk about because that Apollo stage is, legendary, man. So I was definitely thankful to be a part of that.
Hey man, that's awesome. Definitely, definitely. Who was some of some of the people? I know you say you don't idolize anybody, but who's some of your music, favorite music artists that you look up to?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons. I mean, Stevie Wonder is one. I mean, I was a big fan of, Bob Marley's music and Marvin Gaye's music. If we start, a little further back in history, and then moving forward, I mean, I'm a big fan of what Usher has been able to create musically. Even Tank, man, I mean, some incredible vocals that Tank is dropping nowadays, just freaking incredible. Big fan of Chris Brown. Big fan of freaking Anita Baker and Patti LaBelle and things like that. Al Green, and I like just good music, but it's tons. I mean, Charlie Wilson. I mean, we can keep going. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just tons of great music out here. You know, Ludacris, and I'm not gonna lie. Judge me, but don't. I was a huge fan of R. Kelly. You
yeah.
know, being from Chicago. And then everybody's like, man, you can't like that music. So
Well,
we go to a couple select parties where they still playing R. Kelly, but he's he really
yeah,
hurt his legacy, in terms of the amount of spins and hits he has, man, it's really been suppressed. But You know, I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of a lot of music, man. So Neo was an artist I was inspired by when I was coming out the trenches. He had beat me to the game, so I always try to stay a student of the game and listen and see what these guys are doing.
Okay. Cool. 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 What type of advice? I know you sat down and you asked Stevie Wonder for some advice. Getting into the music business. What advice would you give to a young generation guy, man, that's trying to, be a young pop artist, R&B artist in the game, that's trying to find his foot?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna assume that you're serious, then that's a step we don't have to talk about. But step two after that is you have to train your ear. Quality, right? So not quality of a rookie, quality of a professional, and you have to train your ear to get to that quality. Then, if you can get to that quality, then everything that you create will have a chance to be heard and be seen on a higher level of production and professionalism. So quality is very important. Committed, stay committed to it. Study from those before you. Always be a student of the game. Write every day. Write new lyrics. Figure it out. But ultimately, as long as you stay committed in the race, you'll always be one step further the next day than you were the day before. So
Okay. Hey, look, I appreciate that. That's definitely dope, man. We was talking about music though. Everybody, that you digging music right now, and obviously, one guy right now in the music, R. Kelly. Before I say that, R. Kelly, man,
oh,
one of the dope artists, man. So yeah, I get it. Listen to R. Kelly music, and somebody come in and give you the little side eye, man. Like, hold up, wait a minute, dog. He has some hits, man. We all grew up, probably were born to some of these songs. So we don't know. But to mention, like I said, the music one guy in the music business right now is, catching a whole lot of slack. How you feel about the whole Diddy thing?
I mean, Diddy's got to wear those shoes right now. It's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. You know, much love and respect to all families involved and families that are affected by whatever he allegedly he may have done. Um, I don't have much opinion. I sometimes I feel bad for the guy, but that you can go that high. That's just much. Is that what the world is like? Who builds a castle and it never crumbles?
Yeah.
You let me know when you find one, but because those are the people that I study. I want to see who maintains their castles. And there are
Mhm.
people, but they make it really hard out here. But we do it to ourselves, uh, allegedly. You know,
Yeah.
so this new
Yeah.
world of cameras and all of this, and I mean, I made a joke. I'm like, I bet you Diddy still got VHS tapes around there. You know, I mean, that's the old school way of doing things in the new world, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll see what
What
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will, man. We will. I just thought I asked you, man, because a lot of celebrities, man, that I think Diddy was the icing on the cake for me, though, because uh a lot of us sometimes look up and like you said, like how you said you don't, but some people idolize some of these
Yeah,
celebrities, man, and
yeah,
put them on the pedestal, man, and think they can't do nothing wrong, and I said Diddy was the cap for me because there was just so many people that you're just like, okay, man, you either grew up watching or grew up listening to or whatever it was, not in music or any form of entertainment, and it's just like, damn, it's like, wow, come on, man. But yeah, it's unfortunate and sad though, but
yeah.
uh,
I hear you, brother. I mean, we could. This is a whole nother segment. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, like I say, all parties involved. Families, and if the allegations are true, there's a lot of families that are impacted by such acts. So I think about them first, and I know he's being thoroughly taken care of right now, and he's probably in a better situation than you and I would be if
okay,
you know what I mean. So but let that be an example, even if he's found not guilty or guilty, let it be an example to us that what goes up, they say it must come down. So let's create a strong foundation and make sure we don't get too ahead of ourselves.
gotcha. I'm just surprised, man. My man just didn't have a sponsor deal with Johnson & Johnson with all that baby oil or something like that, man. Like, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say about
I
that.
thought
So
that same thing. There's like a meme right now with I think it's one of the comedians or something like that, and they're like acting like they're the CEO at Johnson and Johnson, and they're mad as hell because they're saying Diddy's not going to be purchasing another another order, so they're mad. I'm just like, oh man, the internet is super undefeated, bro.
Yeah, undefeated, like 300 man. Like really. All right, man. Back to the music, man. Your single "One and Only," man, was recognized at the BET Awards, I believe, and the one of BET. You heard.
Yeah,
I was there for you, man. Winning an award, winning a BET award.
yeah. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, it just let me know that the hard work we were putting in, marketing and promoting that song through BET's channels and stuff like that, it actually reached a solid audience where we could win the votes. I always felt like it had the quality, and the sound that people would enjoy, and it was good to get recognized, by BET in that situation.
Okay. Hey, dope. You speaking of hard work, man. What keeps you motivated, and what inspires you to this day?
Yeah, I mean, motivation is just, never having that quit spirit. I've never really been a quitter. And then just knowing that I have love for music, and I see how far God has taken me up until this point. I know many times, the doubt weighed heavy, but you got to see what's around the corner. So that's where the hard work and the inspiration comes from. But I'm inspired by my kids and my family. I'm inspired by those around me, my friends. I'm inspired by people that I don't know. Like I told you, sometimes I Uber, just to reach out to the community, make a couple dollars for some gas money or whatever the case be. And I'm inspired by people that get in my back seat because there's so many stories, so many interesting variations of ourselves out here. And as an artist, it's important for me to tap into the population and see how other people are thinking. So I'm inspired by that. And I'm inspired by just the possibilities of the unknown.
Okay. I dig that. I dig that. You say you're a dad, right? How do you juggle, or I may not juggle, but how is it, being a dad and, you get songwriter, everything else, man. It's just, managing all of that at once, man.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, behind every strong, light-skinned black man, there's a strong black woman, right? So, without that, I wouldn't be able to go to the studio for 2-3 weeks on end, 2 months straight, every night. Because I got a 2-year-old and he is a terror. So yeah, I mean he's amazing. But when I look at my wife and we're like, okay, whose turn is it? But I mean he's a ball of joy. He's great in every way. But it is still it's another job after the main job. So it is a lot to juggle. I think these kids juggle us. But yeah, I mean, that's the same support system I talked about with my parents growing up. My wife and I have been able to try to find better balance. It's not always easy, but we do it for the kids, and the kids also look up to us too. So we have to kind of maintain, what makes us move and be happy inside too. So it works out somehow, some way. It's gonna work.
Hey, I got a little 2-year-old, man. He a monster, man.
Oh man, that's what's up, bro. We gonna have to put them on a Zoom call together.
We got you, man. That's why I was just telling close the door.
You tell him close the door, yeah. He like, what's up, daddy? You almost done yet? That's what's up, bro.
As soon as I leave out of here, man, he gonna be daddy, and I'm a big wrestling fan, so he
I noticed, yeah.
He like wrestling just like me, so he's like, he want to come in here and just want me to pick him up and slam him down. I'm like,
there you go.
Chill for a minute though.
And what better? Is there any better feeling in the world than that? The question for you. Yeah,
it is. No better feeling than that, man. Definitely.
Yeah.
Man, we gonna move on here. You guys, here on the 1130 podcast. It's time for the 1130 podcast hot seat. All right, time for the hot seat. All right, Adam, I got 5 questions for you. We're gonna roll with it. You ready?
I think so.
All right. If you can make a song with anyone, past, living, or that's not past or living, who would it be?
One person, right?
One, 2 persons.
Keisha Cole and Snoop Dogg.
Okay, Yeah, I want to ask why Keisha Cole and Snoop Dogg. I mean, I was Snoop Dogg. I think we all know.
Two different songs, but I like
Yeah.
my voice. I think my voice would be really dope with Keisha Cole's voice, the soul. I think it would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of other ones, Coco Jones and things like that that are very soulful. Not taking nothing away from anybody, but Keisha
Okay.
Cole.
I dig that. I dig that, man. I dig that. I like that. Okay. Do you have any regrets? If so, why?
Well, they say you got to learn to live with regrets. I don't think I have any regrets, but I mean, maybe just not clubbing so much on tour, maybe getting more rest. But yeah, nah. I'll probably think about it after this is over. But no, not on the front end.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 All right. If you can go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Man, there's so many amazing places. And I'm just going just to go. Flight paid
Yeah.
for everything.
Everything.
Right now, I'd probably just go to Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Okay, okay. I hear they got a lot of insects and bugs over there that can kill you in Australia. I don't know, but that's just what I hear. But I hear it's a beautiful place, though. Beautiful place, though.
You say they got a lot of bugs, so I know your pet. I know your your phobia right now. You're not feeling the bugs, huh?
I ain't messing with no snakes or nothing like that. I can watch some more National Geographics though.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of guns and bullets in Chicago that'll kill you. So I deal with the insects.
They sure do. They sure do. Okay. All right. Next one. What is your biggest fear?
God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, peace, joy, and a sound mind. Paraphrased. Yeah, I don't have any fears. I used to.
Okay. Okay. I can dig that. I can dig that. Okay. If you could pass one important advice, or you can pass one thing to your younger son, what would it be? Or teach your younger son, what would it be?
When you come out of college, get straight to making money and come live with your parents and stack it up. When you get to a certain point, you free, but we're gonna monitor you while you there. Stack up all your money, because I mean the way groceries and car insurance and they trying to squeeze you out. So our son is very brilliant, and he's looking into some really good colleges. But if I'm just being honest, that's what the advice I tell him. When you come out of school, go straight to making money. You can stay with us for 2 years, stack it up, and then you'll be ready. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that advice. Okay. If you had a movie written about you, what would be the name of the movie?
From Chicago to the World.
Okay. From Chicago to the World.
Or maybe The Journey of Adam Emil. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Like a documentary or something, maybe.
That's cool. I'm with that.
Okay.
A biopic.
You gotta get it on Netflix, man.
Yes, sir.
I dig it. I dig it. Look at Adam, man. I appreciate you for taking the time coming through here on the 1130 podcast.
Same to you.
It was good chatting with you. I appreciate it. Before you go, any questions? Anything you would like to say?
No, man, I appreciate you so much for having me, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I want people to make sure if they like what we're doing, I have a new single titled Enough, just dropped on all platforms, produced by Toxic, written by T.L. Williams and yours truly, Adam Emil. Check it out, Shazam it, stream it, download it, and don't forget, most importantly, to share it. Find me on Instagram at adam.emil, ADAM. .emil. Also, website is adamemil.com. We got hot new merch, more shows coming for you. So thankful to be able to be in this music industry and being able to touch lives as many as I can. And I'm also touched by those that touch me as well. So thank you so much. God bless you all.
Hey, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Everyone who's listening, man, the links will be down below in the description. So make sure you go stream his latest single, Enough Man. Make sure you download it, all that. And definitely follow him or Adam on social media. Once again, my guy, they're definitely dope chatting with you. Keep killing it. Keep doing the music game, man, and stay
Thank you,
fresh,
bro.
stay cool. Everyone, man, once again, man, we're going let's listen and watch it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap up the show. We got the WTF moment in there. Adam, thank you for coming through, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dre. Appreciate you, bro.
DC is unique. We match other world class cities pound for pound in dining, nightlife, arts, culture, theater, sports, outdoor activities, green spaces, and the list goes on and on. But nowhere else can compete with our monuments, our museums, and memorials. And no other city has as many free things to do. Add it all up, and DC's diversity of experiences is truly unmatched. There's only one DC.
Here on the 1130 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the smooth DC commercial break, man. For real. Yo, Adam, man, thank you for coming through here on the 1130 podcast show this week. It was a great time chopping it up with you. Definitely, and always shout out to Katrina for sharing these amazing guests with the 1130 podcast, such as Adam and much more. Thank you once again, Katrina and Adam, man. Awesome guy chatting with you. Awesome guy to chat with you. All the links are down below in the description. You guys make sure you go check out my guy Adam latest music, and definitely go follow him on all social media platforms, man. For real, really great guy chatting with. He was talking about how he had a 2 year old during the commercial break, and I got a 2 year old, man, and boy. So we definitely got to make that happen, man, for real. But you guys, man, yo, we gonna keep the podcast rolling on before we head on out of here, man. And I told you guys before the break, man, we gonna get into it. Let's go, you guys, man. It's time for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, WTF moment of the week, man. Boys, the WTF moment of the week, man. Yo, this actually happened a couple of weeks ago. And I heard about it, and I was like, "Yo!" And I forgot to even mention it here on the show as the WTF moment, and then some other moments came out and that just took over. But however, I digress, you guys. We here for the WTF moment of the week. I don't know if you guys heard about this situation, bro. Man, two swimming teammates, man, or at least they were on the same swimming team, you guys, at a university. I forgot what university it is though, but just for the purpose of the story, I'm gonna keep the university out of it though. But however, they were college teammates, you guys, on a swimming team. And if you haven't heard, it was a white college student, man, carved the N-word on a black student, man, using a box cutter. Using a box cutter. It is 2024, man, for real. About to be 2025, and that's what we doing. And he was the only black teammate that's on this all white swimming team, man. Like, it's crazy. The guest I had on last week, you guys, Crystal Ford, was definitely talking about prejudice and how it was coming from your own teammates, and how she was the first African American black woman to be on the United States bobsledding team, man. And it comes from your own people. Your own people. The white boy, he claims to be such a they are best friends. Dog, you ain't my best friend. What type of friend you think you are? You carving the N-word on my chest, dog. No, or my body, or whatever. The fact that you carved anything on me with a box cutter doesn't make you my friend. And let alone it had to been the N-word. Oh, that's my name. Let me carve the N-word. No, bro. No. And the reports came out that the student of this university, this college university, is no longer enrolled. And I mean, like, I hope that that person really think about the decisions that they, make. They're gonna have the consequences, man. Your your actions cause a reaction, and you're not enrolled no more. You're not on the swimming team, and like, come on, man, come on, like, WTF, man. You guys check this out.
Some more about the investigation into a racial slur apparently being carved into a Gettysburg College student's body. And we're hearing they were teammates. CBS 21's Andrew Klein is there at the school today with the very latest. Andrew.
Well, Joel D., according to the parents of the victim, they gave a statement to the Gettysburg, and that's the school newspaper for Gettysburg College. They said that a racial slur, the N-word, was scratched into their son with a box cutter by one of his teammates on the swim team. Now, the alleged perpetrator has been kicked out of school, according to the Gettysburgian, and the family in that statement with the college went out and said, 2 weeks ago, on the evening of Friday, September 6th, our son became the victim of a hate crime. The incident took place at a gathering of swim team members. It is important to note that he was the only person of color at this gathering. This student used a box cutter to etch the N-word across his chest. Now, that alleged carving, happened on Friday, September 6th, and nothing came out about the situation until last week. Since this happened, students say on campus that the university has responded well.
I would say we're more united now. I think everyone was pretty disgusted about what happened, and I think now we're just trying to move forward, united as one.
Spoke with the Gettysburg police, who said they have not even received any information, so they did not want to make a comment at this time. Joel D., back to you.
All the way. Like I said, man, you are not my friend, man, if you carving anything on me, especially a box cutter, bro. A box cutter, yo, and it's real unfortunate. Before I get off this WTF moment, it's really unfortunate that it really comes from your own people. It comes from your own people and your own teammates and your own country and everything like that, dog. Like, come on, man. I mean, I know that I possibly could be the only, or am the only black student here at this all white university here on this swimming team, and we still got these racial situations that's still playing out to this day. And this whole racism, that ain't go nowhere. The whole end racism, bro, it ain't gonna go nowhere, bro. You still got people out there that's are really, really, really racist, bro. And it's some towns out there that's all white towns, man. And my man probably good at swimming and just want to be there on the swimming team and get a good education and probably do something with his future, though. But on the other hand, I'm not saying the other guy can't, he won't have a future. He probably will. But I think it's really sad, man, that it took a derail because you wanted to carve the N-word on your black teammate, so-called best friend. Like, WTF, man. It's a really sad world that we living in right now. And I'm a parent right now. I'm a parent myself, and the parents didn't want to be identified or anything like that because, bro, whoo, yeah, you got to be careful what you say, especially at an all-white university. And you're the only black student that's going in. Yeah, you got to be careful what you say. You might even be unenrolled at this school or whatever the case may be. But yo, my son tell me some white boy carved his the N-word on him, man. Yo, bro, it's going up, man. I'm telling you, it's going up, bro. Like that, nah, bro. You ain't no friend. I don't even understand that one. I don't understand that one, man. There's so much crazy shit that's going on in the world now. For real, WTF, man. Another WTF moment real fast. Those I was just thinking of it, and it was crazy stuff that's just going on in the world. I don't know if you guys may know, man, here in DC, man, reports of everybody was seeing a UFO the other night. I'm just like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, oh boy. it's too much. It's definitely too much. Of course, the weather is crazy. One moment it want to be warm, next moment it's cold as I don't know what outside now. Of course, everybody down in Florida, wish them the best, man, and prayers. Because Hurricane Helene and the other hurricane just came through, and yeah, man, real crazy, man. A lot of stuff going on. So everybody out there, man, just man, stay prayed up, man, and love on each other. Love on your loved ones, man. Love on your peoples. Check on them. All that great stuff, man. For real, mental health is definitely important. With so much shit going on, it definitely drive your ass crazy. Definitely drive your ass crazy. I know I'd have been going crazy if I was that parent, man. For real. WTF, man. Yo, WTF. Yo, man, what an episode it was, man. It had been. Yo, Adam, thank you so much for coming through here on the 1130 podcast. All the links are down below once again in the description, so you can definitely go check out and stream my guy Adam's latest music, you guys, on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, and definitely make sure you go follow him on social media. Man, once again, man, another episode in the books of the 1130 podcast show. Appreciate everyone definitely tuning in on this one. We'll be back at it for another episode of the podcast show, but I bring on amazing entrepreneurs, R&B, rappers, music artists, actors, you name it, man, entertainers, all that great stuff, man, and just go one-on-one with them and chat, man. And speaking of one-on-one, man, and wrestling, yo, another episode of the podcast show, the wrestling podcast, man. We'll be back this coming weekend, man. We got some stuff to talk about. I'm definitely doing the watch-alongs, but we got some stuff to talk about. So an episode of Talk Pro Wrestling is coming at you guys this coming week, man. Definitely tune into the watch-alongs. But until now, you guys, man, I'm going to wrap it up here on the 1130 podcast show, episode 206, man. Yo, man. Woo, getting up there. And I'll be back next time, man, for real. Appreciate everyone definitely tuning in. Stay safe, stay blessed, be easy, be smooth, man. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. And I'm out, man. Peace.